What's going on YouTube? It's Dave's Daily Trades. In today's video, we're going to be going over some options flow. We're also going to be taking a quick look at the OATS system versus the CAT system, when that's going to be implemented, and the differences between the two systems. We're going to be going over Shanghai, and also what a great weekend for this to be launched. We're going to be briefly talking about the covering of Sayers, blockbusters, and other OTC stocks, and then looking at some options data. But first, as always, we are going to be taking a look at the technical analysis for AMC and going over some price predictions and some key levels for Tuesday's trading day. But before we hop into it, guys, make sure to hit that like button and also subscribe for more content. So, first of all, hope you all are enjoying this Monday. I know I woke up today looking at my phone first thing in the morning per usual, saying, what the hell is going on? But it's a holiday, guys. Trading's closed. I'm not at work, so I'm going to enjoy the day after this video. But anyways, so TA is actually looking really nice for AMC. On my chart here, I have really just three support and resistance line drawn up. First, we do have that very strong support at $28.36. That held up on the 11th and actually acted very strong. And once we hit down at that point, we did start that bullish reversal up. And that was actually the day after, or the day after the 28th, we saw that MACD crossover and started that trend higher. So I do have this green line right here. I probably should have drawn a better color for this now that I'm thinking about it, but that's totally fine. It looks like we're staying right on this trend line and starting to move higher, so that is always good to see. Now, the first resistance I do have drawn over here is right around that $48 range, which has really been the area that we've been below since falling under, and this was on July 7th. So since July 7th, we have not been able to successfully trade above this and close above this area. And really, my personal belief is once we do break out of this region, we should really see some extensive price action moving forward and actually coming back up to that $63 range, which will really be the test to see if we can break out to all-time highs or, of course, where we go from there. But I really think once we break through this 48 range, we're going to be off to the races and things are going to be looking really good. But if we do look back at some of the OATS data, it really shows us that shorts did open their positions sometime in early July around this $47, $48 range. So that's why it's been so unbelievably hard, and it's taken us 1, 2, 3, and coming up on our fourth retest of this area because shorts really did get in at that position. So, of course, they are trying to hold us below that. So, of course, other than that, guys, MACD still having that crossover, really looking for extensive volume to step in so we can have that massive price action moving forward. Down here, if we're looking at the RSI trading right now at 57.38 as of the close on Friday. And I like to see this, guys, but I really want to see this RSI start to trend north towards this 70 range. And of course, once we get into the 70 range, that's where AMC really likes to go crazy. As we can see back here in, January, we really start our run-up once we were above 70. Same thing on June. On June 2nd, we were actually at, and I'm just trying to grab this right here, right around 87 on the RSI scale, which is very crazy. So AMC likes to run once we're in that overbought region, and that's what I really expect to happen. We're going to start this climb up this week, start getting close to that $70 range. In the next couple weeks, we're going to see that massive action start to come. So that's what I'm looking at as a TA basis, and we'll move on to some of the other data that I've been looking into. So first of all, guys, I want to take a look at Unusual Whales. If you guys are not following them on Twitter, I highly suggest you go and do so. They're really looking at the options data, looking at the flow, and really just making predictions based on the data that they're collecting here. So, of course, what we see here is the flow for AMC as of Friday is looking really good. Of course, all bullish, guys, and that's what we like to see. And interesting enough, guys, we're targeting a 9/10 expiration at $170 strike. That is unbelievably bullish, guys, and I really think in the next couple of weeks, as I said on the TA, it's going to get freaking interesting. So we'll take a look at the OATS system versus the CAT system. I believe it was AMC Bigums that first really started talking about this on Twitter. So I really just want to dive into this and give you my perspective of what I think this is going to do and if it's even going to be important. So anyways, guys, this has actually been in the pipeline for quite some time. As of November 30th, 2020, that's when they started this discussion. And of course, you can read through this article. I'll link it in the description. But in other words, August 31st was the last day that the OATS system was going to be in place. And if we take a look, we're just going to go over the differences between the OATS system and the CAT system. Just some key things that I think at least are going to be very important. So the CAT requires customer information to be captured in the reported trade data. This comes in the form of unique FDIDs provided as part of the trade record. For options, the scope of CAT was explained to include both equity securities as well as equity options, which is something the OATS system did not do in the past. For quotes, trade records will also contain market data information at the time of order routing. Event types, expanded list of reportable event types for increased granularity. So pretty much, guys, what I'm getting through this, I read through this entire article, and it's really based on the reporting. On the CAT system, it was really funky kind of gray areas where the reporting could get unreported, and hence why our OATS data was very skewed. And we were very confused in the months leading up to June. But really what the CAT system is going to do is really make sure that everything is going to be reported, which is going to give us lots of better information to see, okay, what's the true short interest of AMC? And if we hop over, guys, of course, I'm just going to pull up the calendar here. The last day that the CAT system, the OATS system was in place was Tuesday the 31st. Now, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday is when we saw this new system in place. And look at this, guys. On Friday, short interest went up 8.59%. We had 9.84 million borrowed shares. And I really think that this is all because of the new CAT system. So why I think this is important, guys, is moving forward, we're going to start to see numbers like this way more often because the reporting is going to be much better for us retail investors to see. And that's exactly what we want, guys. We want that reporting. We want the equal between retail and, of course, other traders out there, market makers, various other people. We want that same information. So there is no, it's not like market makers are going to be ahead of us because they have better information other than retail. Now it's going to be very similar. So once we start to see this short interest percentage of free float start to increase, that's when FOMO is really going to kick in. Remember back in June when we were like 25, 26% short interest, lots of people started jumping in, taking options because they know it was going to explode. And that's exactly what we're talking about, and that's why this CAT system is going to be so important. So, of course, this is brand new, guys. I would take that with a grain of salt because that we only have, 3 days of this new system. So we're going to keep an eye on this, see what the OATS data looks for the next week and the following weeks as well, and then make some better determinations as to if this is actually going to make any differences. But I really have some high hopes for this, in my opinion. Anyways, guys, moving on to Shanghai. This was the latest movie that came out. And look at this, guys. 90 million record breaking Labor Day weekend. So that is just absolutely huge, guys. And it's been a while since I've gone over some of the backstory of AMC, how they're actually doing as a company. And this really does lead into play with the movements as well, guys. I know AMC is a highly manipulated stock, but on the other hand, guys, it's just getting the name out. Seeing that AMC is breaking records, it's just going to attract more investors, which is always going to help us apes out there, guys. We want to see the AMC succeed as a company, and of course, we do want to see the squeeze. But of course, it is going to take positive news articles just like this to get us to our final destination. So that's exactly where I'm at. And of course, guys, it's Labor Day freaking weekend. Everyone's out there enjoying their time, getting ready for the barbecues, going to see some movies, and that is really, really great. So that's just some more added information that's only going to help us. And I'm not sure if you all saw my video yesterday. I did touch upon what's going on with Sears, Blockbusters, and some others. Let's see if I actually have my chart still saved up. I believe I do. So, of course, look at this. Blockbuster, this is on Friday. We had a 1,700% day. If we look at Sears, look at this freaking price action, guys. We went from a close of 23 cents to a high on Friday of 68 cents. Almost 70 cents, guys. That's absolutely freaking crazy. And just the fact that these dead companies, or what we thought were dead companies, are moving like they are. I mean, look at this, guys. Same time in January where they had that massive run-up. Correlates exactly perfectly with AMC, GameStop, BlackBerry, all the others. So this is something that, honestly, I just never paid attention to because I didn't think these companies were still alive. But they're moving and they're correlating with the squeezes. Now, of course, the only exception to this is on June 2nd, they didn't have that massive price action. Let me see if I can find that. Over here in June, just very, very dead movement. But that's because, in my opinion, this was the mini squeeze in January that correlates over here. And with AMC, I think this was actually a gamma squeeze that happened. So not that squeeze that we're seeing. This was gamma based on the options, guys. That's exactly what happened, which was different based on BlackBerry and Sears. And sorry, not BlackBerry, Blockbuster, guys. Sorry about that. So that was really interesting. But what exactly is going on? It's the fact that short hedge funds are actually being forced to cover their positions, which is really interesting, guys, because if we go into taxes, and I'm not a tax pro, guys, I did go to school for finance, didn't really like the accounting side, but anyways, when a company goes bankrupt and you shorted that stock to bankruptcy, you do not have to pay taxes on that at all. But before they go to zero, which of course Sears and Blockbuster are not at zero yet, you cover those positions, you still have to technically pay taxes on that. So the fact that they're covering these positions earlier, making that price move, it means that these short hedge funds are bleeding for capital. And of course, you have NSCC 010 coming out very soon. I believe that got delayed to sometime end of September, early October. Don't quote me on that, though. And that could be putting some stress. Just the preparation. I know it's not out yet, but people do have to prepare to make sure that on that day they don't just go bust. So I think there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes where hedge funds and short hedge funds in particular are bleeding for that cash. So that's exactly why they're covering these positions, and we're seeing those massive, massive movements on Sears and Blockbuster. Absolutely insane, guys. So we're going to keep an eye on this, see what the price looks next week, and just see if short hedge funds are still having trouble keeping this under control, and maybe they'll keep on covering this stuff. So we'll keep an update on that, and I'll talk to you guys more about that next week once we have additional information. But guys, last thing I want to cover is just some options data for our favorite stock, AMC. So what are the big expiration days that everyone is looking at? Really, I have two here. So 9/17, September 17th. Funny enough, my little brother's birthday, so that's actually really cool. But look at this, guys. We have 117,000 calls expiring in the money, and I know you all love to play those out the money calls. And look at this, 278,000 out the money calls. And on the put side, guys, not many in the money, but of course a lot of puts out of the money, which is what we've been seeing for quite some time. And then the other most popular expiration date right now is the 21st or January 21st, 2022. For all of you guys who are taking those longer option contracts, kudos to you guys. Stop with the weekly expirations. It just doesn't end well. Don't do it. Anyways, guys, we do have pretty high volume for that. I know a lot of people in the AMC community have been talking about that. And of course, the 17th, that's something that is coming up soon. So I have some high hopes for that date as well. But anyways, guys, enjoy the day. Enjoy no trading today. Rest up because we have some big weeks ahead of us, guys. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more content, and I'll talk to you all in a little. Peace out.